called Joanne Singh. I've been in the fire service now for 8 years. The fire service now is actually known as a fire and rescue service. The reason for that is we're actually involved in a lot more specialist rescues, such as working from height, water rescue. We do a lot of water rescue as well. But across the nation there are a lot more specialist equipment, such as USAR, Urban Search and Rescue. Not necessarily, we are a wider, getting involved in a lot more wider specialist rescues. In the fire service, obviously we need to be able to provide emergency cover for 24/7. So for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the community out there knows that if they are in danger, we will respond to that. So we have 4 watches that cover those 24 hours each day, every week. Red, blue, white and black watch. Each watch has 16 people. Within that, we have to have 11 people on duty at any time, or we would prefer to have 11 people on duty at all time. Sometimes that obviously alters due to sickness, but then what happens is throughout the brigade, people are sent on standby. Now, you could have a firefighter who is at Stroud Station, and because they have more than enough on their station and we are low because someone's gone sick, then they'll be sent over on standby to the station. Each fire appliance ideally should have 5 people on it: a driver, an officer in charge, both sit in the front seat, and then have 3 people in the rear cab, 2 wearing breathing apparatus, and then 1 person that helps the officer in charge, rolls out the hose, sets into a hydrant, and really is your general dog's body to be able to do anything that needs to be done. Typical day, shift would be from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, and then the night shift will start at 6 o'clock at night and finish the following morning at 9 o'clock. The day is broken into set patterns. We follow a set routine, so at 9 o'clock the day watch will take over from the night watch. A bell will ring, the watch will then parade, and everybody will be given their daily task, which fire engine or specialist appliance they're actually going to run on throughout that day. Then there will be a short briefing session after they've done their checks. So the drivers will make sure that there's enough petrol or diesel in each fire engine, check that all the lights are working, windscreen, wipers, and each day and each night they are checked. So we need to be able to know that we can respond to these emergency calls. People who are designated their roles of wearing breathing apparatus, they check that, so everything is in working order when we get that call to help our community. From 9:30 to 11 o'clock, that is actually time allocated to training. So if we don't get any emergency calls, we will have that hour and a half where we can train with all our new specialist equipment, such as we go out on the boat onto the river and we will train with the boat. We do some road traffic collision training where we use up our cutting equipment. We might use the tower for some pumping and using the ladders, safe working at height using our rope rescue equipment. So that's designated to 11. Between 11 and 11:15, we just have a sort of 15-minute refreshment break. From 11:15 till 12:10, we are allocated time for policies and procedures that might come into the brigade, lectures. So again, it's more of a side of a training package, but in a theory side. From 12:10 till about 1 o'clock, which is time for lunch, we do some physical training. So depending on each watch, we like to make it varied. We have hockey pitch on the drill yard, a volleyball pitch as well. We do circuit training, and each whole-time fire station has its own gym, which has a selection of weights, a treadmill, bikes, a rowing machine. So, the facility's there for people to actually stay fit, which in our job is a priority. Okay, we cover the county, Gloucestershire. There are 4 whole-time fire stations, which is Gloucester, Stroud, Cirencester and Cheltenham. There are 20 retained stations that will obviously cover those towns or villages in Gloucestershire that aren't as busy as the main areas. So they don't get enough calls to warrant a whole-time fire station. The fire service actually are very interactive with the community, especially the children. Now, we do have open days, we attend fetes, we go to youth clubs, we have the Brownies and the Guides and the Cubs and the Scouts. They come to the station and we actually deliver a package where we are delivering a message of fire safety. So depending on their age, we'll go through stop, drop and roll. So if their clothes catch fire, we'll go through an escape plan. So we'll get them to actually go through and make sure that their families are aware that if a fire breaks out in a certain part of their house, what their plan of action would be to escape. We also get them to identify fire hazards. So, we can say in a kitchen, what sort of things can you identify? Through pictures. We get them to have a look around the appliance so they're aware of what sort of equipment we use. Then they can call us to attend to help these people in the community. From 9 in the morning till 6 o'clock at night if you're on a day shift, then at any time you would be responding to emergency calls. So we can go through the whole routine, but as soon as we say the bells go down, but it's more like it's an alarm that we're all aware of. We have identified lights that come up which actually identify which appliances are required for that, and each appliance will be checked over in that morning to make sure that it is ready to go as soon as that emergency call comes in. As soon as an emergency call comes in and someone's phoned 999, that will go then to the operator. The operator will ask them if they want fire, ambulance, police. The person who says fire will be transferred to our fire control at headquarters in Quedgeley. They will then take the details and they will send the nearest fire engine or rescue appliance to that incident. If there is not a fire engine or rescue appliance available, so if Gloucester Station were out on a shout already and another call came in for Gloucester, we have retained backup, which they're on bleepers and they respond, so they have to be within 5 minutes of the station. If they're not available, then they will go to the next nearest fire station. So we'll always have people responding. Sometimes it might just take that little bit longer, depending on how many calls. And that's why we stress that bogus calls, or Mickeys, what they call them, if people put in calls and we're sent to something that isn't a fire and a real fire comes in, then that's why sometimes if it takes longer, that's how important it is to get the message across that you just don't do it. Now you've seen what we can do for you. You can help us by not playing with matches, not playing with fireworks, and above all, make sure you've got smoke alarms fitted and make sure they work.